Hello, hello, dear students. Hello, 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 dear students. Hello, hello, dear students. Hello, hello, dear students. Hello, dear student. Welcome to Stribage IAS. Today we are going to discuss about 15th June, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So we'll see all the important news of the day, and I'll also tell you how you are going to use this, all this that is information that is given in the news, so that you can put that in a very constructive way. So not there are a lot of information each and every day that is given in the paper. So we should know that how we are going to this information in our mains answer writing, how we are going to use this information for our prelims. So, if you read continuously newspaper and whatever task I'm going to give you each and every day, it is my promise you'll get 20 to 30 marks extra in prelims. So prelims is not going to be your headache, because same principle is going to like already worked with me. So I have cleared all my attempts. So I'm going to tell you so how you are going to clear that. Same thing now, I'll also tell you how each and every information that is given in the newspaper can be helpful for your mains, and so that you'll get at least 450 marks in your GS and 130 plus in your essay. So if you are scoring this much, it is about 580. So to get a good rank, you need 850. So for optional, if you are scoring 230 even, you'll get a good rank. Okay. So dear students, so take this paper very seriously. So I'll tell you line by line how you are going to do all these things. Okay. So first is center set off a panel to frame aircraft response in the guidelines. Okay, so the committee headed by Home Secretary told to lay down the standard operating procedure and comprehensive guidelines for preventing crashes in the future. So plane will not, the plan will not substitute the inquiry by various body into the crash. Okay, so government is establishing a committee to ensure there should be a proper investigation, and whatever the finding, according to that you can take steps to prevent any future such incident. So Center Saturday announced that setting up a high level committee headed by Home Secretary to suggest comprehensive guideline to respond aviation accident against backdrop of recent accident in the Ahmedabad. So in case how you are going to use that, you can use this as a further point. After the severe fatal crash, government of India taken step to improve the safety measure by implementing these things. So you can write that in your mains examination. Okay. So focus on formulating standard operating procedure for preventing and handling such occurrence in future, and publish report within 3 months. Okay, and according to that report, so government can take a lot of steps. So next is the accident probe conducted by the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. So dear student, it is your homework to study about detail about AAIAB, but I have already given here all the details. So Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. So recently the aircraft accident occurred. So because of that, so it is a government agency established in 2012 under Ministry of Aviation, Civil Aviation's primary responsibility to investigate aircraft accident and a serious incident of Indian airspace. Okay, so just read it out. So there can be questions on your mains regarding this question. Okay, so read it out. You can easily answer this question. Okay, so you can find here it is responsible for classifying safety operation involving aircraft operation in airspace. Okay, so just read it out. So they can ask three statement, four statement in prelims regarding that. So dear student, those who are preparing for writing this year main, so you can join our answer writing program. So it is currently live. So you can get completely flexible of writing four question per day. Okay, or full length in a week, or you can get timely evaluation, and all our evaluator are already interview experience and selected faculty, so that you'll get high quality evaluation at very nominal fees. Okay, to join that you can simply scan this QR code. So next important news: three women among the four Maoist killed ongoing operation in Balaghat, so in Madhya Pradesh. So recently we are seeing all over the India. So recently, so many Maoists are either killed or they surrender in the operation. This is very good news because it is going to help us achieve our goal of making India Maoist free by what is the date? You have to remember that. Major success for campaign to end Maoism by March 2026. This is what given by Union Home Ministry target. So you can write that in your whenever you are writing anything related to left wing extremism. So Noxal, other name of Noxal is left wing extremism. Okay. So, dear student, those who are preparing for 2026, you can join our main answer writing program. Here it is completely flexible, and you can write question of your choice or question provided by we provide the question, and you can either write two question per day or you can write full length test in a 14 days. So it's up to you. You can choose your as per your convenience. So, dear student, this is a one more very important news. So plotted at home, executed to 1,000 kilometer away, Meghalaya, the MP reel under the honeymoon model. So recently there is a severe incident happened. So one honeymoon couple they went to visit the Meghalaya, but there is a conspiracy behind as per the allegation. So not yet not yet sure that the you can say the wife killed that husband. So because of that, people it is in initial stage. People generally accuse that Meghalaya is not safe for tourism, and northeast people are not good. All this is these kind of things accused by all this mainstream media. Let me tell you one thing in my experience about Northeast. I have I have stayed there. I know about people. If you never visited Northeast, you will not understand how people are good actually. Northeastern people are very humble people, very good people. I'd like to say that they are the best people. They are the best people. So they are very hospitable to the outsider. So but the media house, those who are sitting in the AC room don't have any experience of going there. They are simply accused that the Manipur is not safe for tourists. So because of that, now tourist activism is taking a dip in the Manipur. So we need to be very responsible. The media role should be very responsible. It should not be only promote their own interest, and it creating prejudice, stereotype against the northeastern people. So it is very wrong, because as per my experience I know how people are very good, very humble people. I think these are the best people. Okay, so that is what lesson we can learn. So here what is our application? Our application is in ethics. So what is in ethics? So there is a generally tendency that we are using stereotype, prejudice against the northeastern people. So before you visit, how can you comment all these things like the Meghalaya is not good? So because of that, Meghalaya people, they want sub notice and cases against those who are creating fake propaganda. Okay, many Swara says that they forgive the Raja family and other for tarnishing their images, but they intend to take some media house to the quote reduce stereotyping of a region. So it is very important for our ethics. So there is a word called stereotype and another word is called prejudice. Stereotype is knowledge component. Knowledge component means you are falsely propagating something without knowing its real things. So because of that, people tends to believe that northeastern is not safe for people. So because of that, it is also going to reduce the tourism activity. When tourism activity is very less, then northeast will not develop, and if it is not developed, then it is also going to have under the influence of all this secessionism. So we have to understand and not spread any type of misinformation without knowing its real real information. And second thing, on the basis of prejudice, if you have wrong information about all these things, you start to behave discriminate against the northeastern people, which is also again wrong. ठीक है. So here these example is classic example we can use in ethics. Okay. So next is Han hai 503 stable being tow away from the coast. So container that fall from the ship could reach Kerala coast between Monday and Wednesday, says disaster management body. There is a tilt in the port side. Smoke is still rising from it. So recently we have seen that back to back two ship that is two accident happen in the coast of you can say India, that is or Kerala coast. So one of them is MV one है 503 Singapore flagged container ship that caught of fire in the Kerala coast following the explosion. It currently beyond 100-meter surrounding line depth of the ठीक है 45 nautical miles of the coast. So Navy ship just towed and move away of the ship from the coastal area to prevent any sort of damage to our coastal ecosystem or people. And also the disaster management authority also issue an warning. Public have been advised to stay away from any suspicious object found the coast. A distance of at least 200 meters should be maintained from them, because this can be very explosive element, so that can harm to the people also. So because of that they have to maintain certain distance from this explosive items. Okay. Dear student, those who are interested in Dunachara Mentorship program, so you can join our program by scanning this QR code. This program is basically designed to guide you throughout this journey. It's a one-stop solution. You'll get here prelims test series, mains test series, daily targets, and the summary of the topics that we are giving daily, and we'll also provide a video so that whatever targets we are giving, you should not miss any important point that is relevant for your examination. So one-stop solution for your preparation. So you can join this Dronacharya year-long mentorship by scanning this QR code. Okay. So next is S. Jaishankar urged the Iran and Israel to avoid any escalatory steps. So recently we have seen that the Israel carried out airstrike within the Iran. So in the pretext of that, Iran is developing nuclear weapon, and it is the stated policy of Iran is that the moment Iran is going to have nuclear weapon, it will wipe out Israel. So due to that, this conflict is going on for long. Okay. So Israel, we can see that. So if this conflict is going to persist and spill over to the Gulf region, so that is going to be harm Indian interest. Why? Israel is host around 30,000 Indians in various industry and academic institutions. Iran is a regional power. Gulf region, which hosts around 10 million Indian expat workers. So in our Gulf region along host 1 crore Indians population. So any disturbances there is definitely going to have impact on the Indian economy. So that is what they convey by our Ministry of External Affairs. So next is, dear student, you can join our Sunday podcast by scanning this QR code. Here you can directly interact with me. You can ask all your doubt. I'm going to help you. So India steer clear of the SCO statement on Israel strike. So recently, what is the full form of SCO? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. In Shanghai Cooperation Organization, so there is a statement recently issued by all these member country, which is who are condemn the attack, Israel attack on the Iran. But India distanced itself and said that India is not part of such discussion. So because we are having very strategic or close relationship with Israel. So due to that, India maintained distance and said that here it is given that in its statement, SCO come out to support of the Iran, a member states, and said that Israel attack has led to the civilian casualty were contrary to the international law and United Nations Charter. So SCO statement, Ministry External Affairs said that Israel Iran hostilities should be no through dealt both the hostilities should be dealt with the diplomacy, not through the war. So a day after India abstained UN General Assembly resolution in support of ceasefire in the Gaza. First, India abstain, not vote any favor or against of Gaza ceasefire in Gaza. Okay, government distanced itself from the Shanghai Cooperation Organization that strongly condemned the Israel military strike within the Iran. So India distanced itself because of our strong relationship, and India not in favor of isolating any particular country in the conflict. India always in favor of dialogue, debate, discussions to find solutions to the any international problem. So Canada ties. So recently, our Prime Minister is going to visit Canada, then Cyprus, and other countries. So during his visit, Canada ties trade and Iran Israel class in focus of the PM Three Nations tour. So first visit abroad after the Operation Sindoor, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave three nation Cyprus. So you have to map the location where is Cyprus located. Then you have to map the you know about Canada. Then you have to map the Croatia. So it will be attending G7 summit of the Western Allies Developed Economy. So you have to tell me the which country are part of the G7 and which country is called G8, and which country recently removed from the G8, then it became G7. So which country removed from G8, it became G7. You have to tell me in the comment box. Let me see how many of you know that. So Modi aircraft will make refueling. Okay, so Cyprus and Croatia, he will be first in Indian Prime Minister to visit the Cyprus since 2002 and first to visit Croatia since country was founded in 1991. It is the visit to Canada 10 years after he visited during the sideline of G20 summit, where India is one of the five specially invite which would be was very closely. So that means India is not the only invitee. There are other invitee as well as to the G7. Modi is expected to speak about India's fight against terrorism at every stops, including holding Pakistan accountable at United Nations Financial Action Task Force. So, we want FATF to put Pakistan on the grey list. Okay, we want Pakistan should be put on the grey list. Okay, so this would be the Prime Minister's sixth consecutive participation in the G7 summit. That means after 2009, each and every summit, Prime Minister always, our India always invited. So at the summit, PM will be exchange view with leader of G7, okay, country in the summit. Okay. So here the organization on crucial global issue, including we are also discussing about energy security, technology innovations, particularly AI, nexus, and quantum related issue. So here also Prime Minister also going to meet the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Visit refer to a chance to recently our relation has been declining with Canada. So this is a good opportunity. We can reset our tie and make tie relationship move forward. So the ongoing conflict is Israel and Iran, so bombardment of Israel bombardment of Gaza and Russia Ukraine war, economic disruption caused by US tariff, all is going to discuss in the G7 summit. Okay, so Modi recently in coming Cyprus, so there is expected to address business leader to discuss plan for India Middle East economic corridor. So IMEC, so you have to study about IMEC. So what is IMEC, when it is proposed, what are the objective, the route is passes through which country. You have to remember everything, so they can be question, because this year they ask about international also transport corridors, so that in next year they can ask that. So Modi visit to the Cyprus has been, why we are visiting Cyprus, this is a big question, because just like the Turkey is supporting Pakistan, we need to teach Turkey a lesson that you cannot like while you are creating irritation for India, India is also going to create irritation for you, because Turkey is having conflict with Cyprus. If we cement our relationship with Cyprus, so we can strengthen their military to teach Turkey a good lesson. So Modi visit to the Cyprus would be a decade-old territorial tussle with neighbor Turkey. Also seen a sharp message to the Delhi to Ankara over Turkey support to the Pakistan during Operation Sindoor. Okay? So dear student, it is your homework. You have to study about SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That means when it is formed, what are the charter, objective, how many countries are part of it, and which Central Asian country is not part of this SCO. So detail you have to study about SCO and when India joined the SCO. Okay, and recent summit of SCO is held in which country and future summit is going to held in which country. These are the important questions they can ask in your prelims. And from men's perspective, you can study about how SEO help India to balance. Like on the one hand, you can see the beauty of India. You can see India is part of G7 SEO. Here it is Russia, China dominating. Here it is the developed country dominating, and we are part of both. That is what uniqueness of India. Okay? So next is a new jumping spider species found in southern India. So you can see the team of researcher found jumping spider, name is Sparatai nai. Uh, Spatai nai. Spartai nai. So new jumping spider. So just read that Spartai nai. So they can ask about nowadays UPSC is very commonly ask about all these species. So if you know that, you can answer it. So this debate country will react based on their interest. So this debate is by the Shiv Shankar Menon, former National Security Advisor. So also Foreign Secretary. So it's very very interesting. So you can read it. In a preliminary analysis, Operation Sindoor, former National Security Advisor says that military did well, but lesson need to be learned on strategic communication, India diplomatic effort will did not fail, but China Turkey used opportunity to consolidate their ties with Pakistan. So in preliminary analysis of Indian response to the Pelgam, in response to the Pelgam terror attack, National Security Advisor and Foreign Secretary Shiv Shankar Menon, who also observed as an Indian ambassador to the China and Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Israel, told that Indian diplomacy has not failed to convey the country position on terrorism, as some argue, but countries will respond to the fear of conflict with Pakistan according to their own interest. Because when there is a conflict like Pakistan, like the China and Turkey, they respond to promote their own interest. Turkey interest is to act as a leader of Islam world, so that it support Pakistan to gain support of the Muslim, and China is supporting Pakistan to weaken the India and keep India in a permanent conflict, so that India cannot develop, and it is quite easy for China. Okay. From 2008 to 2025, do you see India response to the terror attack is gradual evolution, and what would one expect if there is another terror attack that is going to happen on India? So the Israel, there is a very good quote. Israel said that phrase that mowing the grass. That means katna padta hai. So force is grateful to mow the grass, but grass grow again. So given Pakistan situation and nature of the Pakistan polity, so role of the Pakistan army, recently we have seen how Pakistan army attend the funeral of all these terrorists. That means it is the Pakistan army who himself involved in the act of terrorism. They shelter support terrorism to give Pakistan army a degree of deniability. If they directly involved with the conflict, so that is going to make a war. But if they use proxy, that is going to give a degree of deniability. So given the China role in supporting Pakistan, do you think India's strategic challenges have shifted from desperate challenges to two-front war? So, in terms of reliance on Chinese equipment, Chinese theory, and Chinese way of war, and both Pakistan and China have made much in their narrative and their projection, their propaganda. There have been very Chinese statement of support of Pakistan in 1970, 65, so on, but they never did anything. Okay? So, like, China is providing everything in coveted way, not in direct way, so that always keep India in a constant state of war. So that if there is a disturbances in India, so currently all the manufacturing sector that they are moving out of China. If India is always maintaining a disturbed state, so they are not going to shift out of the China. They will wait, and China can utilize that opportunity to to tell them that you can manufacture here. So that is what China end game is. Unfortunately, India media. So there is one more question they ask: do you think more information should be put out? So already I have told you how our media house wrongly propagated recent incident in Meghalaya that tarnished the tourism image of the Meghalaya. The people are very humble, very honest people, I know that. So just because of TRP, our media can go any extent. You can see one more incident here. Even that day, I have, like I was also watching that news that one big guy who is shouting like anything till that he recently we attacked the Karachi. So this that person is is a spreader of lie. So unfortunately, India media made us seem less credible by a lot of stories that were putting out. It didn't stand test of the reason. Just watching what they have saying, reporter of the bombardment of Karachi, Pakistan, PM resident, military coup. So they are actually just propagating fake news. So there are less lesson to be drawn and any conflict. And in this case, I think communication certainly one of them. Okay? So that means we can learn that whenever you are not putting official communication to the people, so that creates scope for all this misinformation, false information. So we can learn from that. Whenever there is a conflict, it is the official channel. We need to put everything onto the public domain, because when you are not saying anything, so there can be open speculation. Just like our CDS is like you can say the real hero who put everything like very clear manner. Yes, in a war laws are always like we cannot prevent loss, but what is more important is what is the end you have achieved. Yes, we are successfully achieve our object, but losses are part of the any war game. You can recently see that Houthi rebel can down a F-35 fighter jet of USA. That means anything can happen. Okay. Did Indian diplomacy fail as being portrayed, given the India not seen receive message support from Operation Sindoor? Pakistan did from the China and Turkey, given the Trump comment. So not at all. Country will choose to react to the attack situation based on their interest. and what they can get out of it. So Turkey, China both have opportunity to consolidate their tie with Pakistan, which is important to them for various reasons, and they choose to do it. India got wild support on the terrorist attack. And on the other hand, we are not getting like, we are not expecting a written letter from all this world country, like, because we want the dispute with Pakistan should be settled by bilaterally. We don't want third party to come and settle our dispute. When third party come here, they will try to get benefit from this opportunity. So that is the reason India never ever, after our first experience with the Kashmir issue on the UNSC, we don't want to involve any third party in our internal disputes. Okay, so this is a very good article. Read that. So you'll get a lot of insights. And dear student, those who are preparing for OPSC, you can join our test series. So test series price are very nominal, yet you'll get high quality question. ठीक है, though because these question are prepared by those who have written multiple mains interview and selected candidates, so you will get high quality question. So next is the proposed AC temperature control norms built on 2018 guidelines. So recently we are seeing that the Ministry of Power proposes that we need to set the default temperature of AC around 24 degrees. So what do you mean by default temperature? The moment you turn on your AC generally it will operate on 17-18 degree. But whenever you set the default temperature, that means it automatically turn on at the temperature of 24. You have the option, you can increase, decrease, but by default it will automatically set the temperature to 24 degree. Okay, so the guideline proposed by Union Ministry of Power to limit the operational temperature range of our air condition across the country built on the 2018 plan put by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So it is your homework, study about Bureau of Energy Efficiency, whether like under which ministry Bureau of Energy Efficiency comes. Please write in the comment box the question I am putting to you. BEEA is established under which ministry? And any act, any like BE is a statutory body or non-statutory body, which act through which it is established, what are the mandate of the BI, so what is the star rating of the electrical equipment, which equipment are comes under the star rating. Okay, you have to study all these things. So in 2008 BE, which affiliated to the Ministry of Power, issue guideline measure commercial establishment to conserve energy through optimum temperature setting for their air condition. The establishment include port, airport, hotels, shopping malls, office. Okay, ministry says. So now 2020 government mandated that all air condition have default setting of 24 degrees Celsius, because our body is not too comfortable with high temperature, not too comfortable with low temperature, but 24 degrees Celsius is comfortable for our body. Okay, setting for a human comfort. However, this is still allow individual to control the temperature setting of their choice. Like that means they go whenever you turned on your AC, it is 24. You can improve, increase the temperature or decrease temperature as per your choice. The proposed guideline will take one step further by having new air condition hardware to operate in a fixed temperature range 20 to 28 degree. It will operate in a range of either minimum temperature you can reduce to, now currently you can minimum temperature 16 degree and maximum is 30 degree to 20 to 28 degree range. Okay, so degree Celsius. So BE estimated that considering the current market trend, total connected load India due to air condition will be 200 gigawatt by 2030. So increase only 6% household. If we can set that temperature limit, so India cooling demand amount to 50 gigawatt, roughly one fifth of the peak market. So currently, current demand is 50 gigawatt for AC or cooling market. So you can take the best example from the Japan. Japan already have a regulation in place for functioning of air condition. So at 28 degrees Celsius in office and public buildings. So they set their temperature 28 degree. Okay, in all their office and public building. So in major arm whole, Manipur police sees a lot of weapons. So recently, after getting an intelligence about the weapon, Manipur police along with Assam Rifle and Central Armed Police Force, they have seized large amount of weaponry that is being used in the violence during the you can say Meiti and Kukizo violence. Okay, so when you seize the weapon, so that means you are cut off, we are cutting off these you can say fuel that is burning in this Manipur issue. So that means we are expecting after this seizure, we can expect there is a normalcy should return. Okay, so this is no this is a good article. Ensure no claim is denied or delay, said by IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. So dear student, it is your homework, study about IRDAI. So IRDAI is established under which act? Okay, you have to understand which act, what are the objective, and it is regulation. It's regulate on which body. So, and one more thing you can do, you can study about RBI Act, when established RBI Act, then SEBI Act, then PFRDA. So you have to arrange PFIRDA on this sequence, which one is established first, second, third, fourth. You have to just arrange them. Let me see how many of you know that. Please write in the comment box from starting to last, like which body is established first, then second, third, fourth in a sequence. Please write in the comment box, let me see. And you have to study about the headquarter of IRDAI. So headquarter of RBI, headquarter of PFRDA. Sometime UPSC nowadays they are asking very factual question also. Before they are not asking. Nowadays you need to know everything, so that it is not going to be any headache in your prelims time. Okay. So next it is a very good article. Arunachal Pradesh declared 2025 to 35 as a decade of hydropower. So if you look into the Arunachal Pradesh, so Arunachal Pradesh is having potential of 60 gigawatt of hydroelectric power. Can you imagine 60 gigawatt current power that India is producing? Current our demand is 241 gigawatt. You can understand that around 1 by 4 or 25% of current 25% of current demand can only meet from the Arunachal Pradesh. So why China is very serious? Why it is eyeing on the Arunachal Pradesh? You can understand. And that is the importance actually. So move aim at harnessing the state potentials to generate 58 megawatt of electricity, creating stable supportive regulatory framework for overall development of industrial ecosystem. So the cabinet headed by Arunachal Pradesh CM Pema Khandu declared that 2025-35 decades of hydropower to harness state potential to generate 58 megawatt of electricity. This is very important for us. And you can say Meghalaya having a large reserve of water resources. So India need to be, you can say, strengthen its security. So any sort of action by the China, we need to be dealt with that. So because China is always want to capture the resources, so we need to be very careful there. Okay. The strategic management of revenue generated through the free power from the hydroelectric project. So they have given that. So you can see the cabinet underscore need to allay the fear. Recently there is a protest that is going on in Arunachal Pradesh against the power project of Siang Upper multipurpose project. That no anti dam activity says that target to generate 11 gigawatt. Just imagine, one dam can generate 11 gigawatt of electricity. Center declared that the sump is a national project. So any project that is declared as a national project, they can get fund from the national government. Okay. So currently the project is being pursue as counter to the China proposed 600 megawatt, or you can say 60 gigawatt Yarlung Tangspo River on the Tibet. So, recently China started building a dam and planned to generate 60 gigawatt. And to counter that, India started this dam, or you can say a lot of dam to generate the power. Okay. So Cherrapunji Gin became first alcohol level from the northeast to be exported. So dear student, northeast is rich in terms of cuisines, food, herbs. Like here so many tribes, so many diversity. You will not find. I think in a small I think seven or eight sister. If you add the Sikkim, so in that 8 state you'll find so many diversity and so many food, so many cuisines that itself is a larger than big country. The diversity is larger than the big country. So we are not yet tapping the potential of the northeast potential can emerge as a hub of agricultural industrial product. So one such example is now the Guinea gin became the alcohol from the northeastern. So there are so many GI tags, so many tribe they produce local beer also. So one such thing is rice beer. So here they produce so many rice beer with a different taste, but that is not yet being exported, that is not yet being marketed. If that can be done properly, so that is going to help a lot. So next is squishy stops. So the soft matter is bunch of, just read it out, why material fluffy. It is given, not much important, but read it out, you'll understand it. Okay. So recently we are seeing that there is a severe delay about Action 4 mission. Okay, so why was the mission postponed 4 times? Okay, so launch date. So first there has been repeated delay of the Action mission initially because of the weather condition, but last delay was because there is a leak on the liquid oxygen. So in mission liquid, the oxygen is stored at a very low temperature in a liquid state, and this liquid oxygen along with kerosene is used to burn, and that can provide a thrust. But when they found that there is a leakage, when there is a leakage, so it is not going to produce sufficient thrust, and which danger, this mission can be very dangerous. So because of that, they postponed this mission. And this mission is very important for India because our astronauts Subhanshu Shukla ji is going to visit the International Space Station. Okay? And then we are going to conduct there so many microgravity experiment on the, and the experience that we are going to gain over there, that is going to helpful for our Gaganyaan mission. Okay? This is all about this news, so just read it out, you'll find it. Okay, so next is who take the responsibility when a ship sink. So the recently two back-to-back incident that is happening on the Kerala coast. So because of that, it is very important. So first one is the who regulate the global shipping. So it is the International Maritime Organization who is regulating the global shipping. So it is a part of the powerful UN agencies. Okay, so applies shipping and maritime nature of the industry. India included sign various. We have signed various convention of that. Okay, so it is the Director General of Shipping which issue notice for purpose. Okay, in some case parliament sanction may be needed. So International Maritime Organization is main body that regulate the global shipping routes, and India have signatory to the lot of convention. So that means we have created Director General of Shipping who is responsible for enforcement of all this law. And in case we need some law to pass for implementation, then we need parliament permission. India is signatory to the many convention bearing 2004 Ballast Water Convention and 2010 Hazardous Noxious Substance Convention. So you can say Hazardous Noxious Convention deal with liability and compensation for damage related to the carriage of hazardous and noxious substances on the ship. So you can see here India is a signatory to the many convention barring few such as, so this convention we have not signed yet. So in case of ELSA 3, which may be container carrying noxious substance such as calcium carbide, so after mixing with water, it can create lot of temperature. So India will seek remedy under its own merchant shipping law because we don't signatory to this international law. When you are not signing an international law, so then in that case you have to use your own law. Shipping owned by the company across the world. So actually what happens? Shipping the company that is owned, but they register in some else country. For example, lot of shipping they owned by the Greece and China, but they've registered in other country. But ships are registered various other nations for convenient and ease of operation. Though member of the IMO and governed by IMO norms, such nation, you know, though members of convenience, so though the member of IMO and governed by IMO norms, such nation are offer less intrusive scrutiny and therefore called flagged of convenience. Okay, so there are few countries which provide easy or simple law. So one such is Liberia, and Marshall Island is another such country. So because of that, so many ships are registered there for because of this less regulation, who is liable for loss of cargo or damage to the environment. So in case of loss of cargo, it is the owner of the ship. The owner of the ship is liable for both trader of the, once you have given your goods to the ship owner, so it is the responsibility of the ship owner to ensure that it is reach its destination. In case of environmental pollution, it is the owner who is held responsible for that also. Okay, but this owner can take a insurance from any third party. In case of loss, it is the insurance who is going to pay you for that. Okay. So who should salvage the ship? That is wrong. Obviously, it is the owner. Owner should salvage the ship. So then, why do ship sink? So sometimes we are using too big ship. Whenever there is a rough weather condition or anything happens, so because of that, it can be sunken. So here it is given few reasons. Today, merchant ship tends to sail close to the coast in search of mobile tower signal that a seafarer they are not generally getting, and so when they get signal, so they can communicate with their family member. So ठीक है. So if you see how why Ilsa has been shrunken in the coast. So first ship started tilting on one side and listing in shipping parlance. So container that were towed on the top they fall on the sea. This and sea was also rough. This led to the list increasing on the heavier side, which led to the shrunken. Dekho, ship is properly balanced by load. If it is tilted on one side and there is a rough sea, so because of that some container fall on the ocean. So because of that load is unbalanced and then it is toppled and shrunken. Okay. So even in the even the Titanic was also, it is like, some people say that it is unsinkable. Titanic was sunken because if they are not following proper procedure. So you can say there is a convention called Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS, come into being. SOLA is one of the key convention that governs shipping, and it's often revise a key lesson that Titanic has now been implemented solar norm. So lifeboat, solar talks about we need to provide proper lifeboats on the both side of the ship, so that in case of toppled, one side is below, so other side can be used to access that. This means that ship tilt one side, other can be used. So shipping industry learn from each accident. IMO revise supplemented guideline periodically to regarding the design. So dear student, it is your homework, study about IMO. So tell me in the comment box the headquarter of IMO located in which city. Second one is what are the objective of IMO. Then next is SOLAS. SOLAS. What is the full form of SOLA? What are the objective of SOLA? Whether India is signatory to SOLA or not. Okay. So next important article: how should sexual abuse survivor be treated? Recently there is a case that is going to the Delhi High Court. So under that, I'm just saying the crux of that. So what happened? One particular survivor of a you can say rape victim. So when the investigating officer visited the AIMS and want some testing of the pregnancy of that a lady, that, or you can say child, I think that child is 17 years, so child. So in that case, AIMS initially denied the testing on the saying that the name and age need to be ascertained. So after police officer taken that child to the child welfare committee, and child welfare committee when give the permission. So because of all this procedural delay, so that after they get permission, they gave it, like, after they get a check off, so they found that the fetus is 25 week and 4 day pregnant. So as for the termination of the MTP, so termination of the pregnancy act, they are not allowed termination of the pregnancy beyond 24 week, but here it is found that the fetus is already 25 weeks. So in that case, the AIMS deny the termination. So the victim reach to the High Court, and High Court find that there is severe lapse. And after High Court given, there is an order given to a formation of the medical board. They found that the pregnancy is within the 24 limit, so they can be aborted. And after that, they found that woman is fit for the abortion. So this process brings lot of, you can say, inordinate delay, procedural delay. So after that, they issue some direction, so that those who are survivor of the, you can say, sex rape victim or assault victim, they should not be suffer. So what are the objective, what are the guideline given? When an investigating officer present a sexual assault survivor for medical examination along with officials case file and FIR, so separate identity verification may be dispensed with. That means agar koi police officer, when if a police officer providing detail of FIR case, then no need to demand any particular identity documents. It further stressed that in case involving minor, procedural safeguards applicable to routine diagnostic case not be applied. So when there is a minor involved, when there is such a sensitive case involved, the procedural cheese, like procedural things can be just tweak, or you can say avoided, so that the survivor can get at least support. All cases where a rape or sexual assault survivor is found to be pregnant, a comprehensive medical examination must be conducted without delay. Whenever you find that woman is a rape victim or even a survivor of a sexual assault, this the moment you have to conduct a pregnancy test. If you found that in instances where gestational period means the pregnancy period is exceeding 24 weeks, hospital administration were instructed to immediately constitute a medical board to conduct necessary examination and submit status report to the appropriate authority without awaiting specific court order. Okay. So next direction it is given to the police officer, directed the court police officer, they should be have immediate continuous training in 6 months to understand all this issue. Okay. So judge mandating that during the medical examination of sexual assault survivor, urine pregnancy test must be conducted. If survivor is found pregnant, an adult seeking termination, the investigating officer must ensure that she is presented before the medical board on the same day. The state government were also ordered to ensure that medical board are constituted in the hospital. So because of delay procedures, all these things, so many kids, how can children are suffering under the law. So law are basically to help us. Law should not be prevent anyone from accessing their justice. So that is the reason this direction are given by our Delhi High Court. So last revolutionary of Iran. So I'm just giving you a story of, just it is like a very long article. Just I'm giving you a story of that, so you can understand that. They go, like before this Iranian revolution. So first there is a democratic elected government established in Iran, but because of CIA and MI agent, CIA is the secret agent of USA, and MI is the secret agent of UK. They plot a coup and remove this elected government and establish a puppet or dictator named Shah, ruler of Iran. And Shah, ruler of Iran, is very oppressive. Like, he suppressed everyone, and killed brutally. So on that, people revolted and removed Shah. After that, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei gradually emerged powerful and the supreme leader of Iran. Okay? But the Iran over a period of time have a very bad relations with the USA, and Israel being the ally of USA, and the you can say the Iran is always against the Israel. So because of that, both the conflict of Iran and Israel is going on since long, and Iran use proxy in the form of some terrorist, you can say Hezbollah, then Hamas, to target the Israel. And Israel consider it a severe threat. And recently, the after the Hamas hostage crisis, Israel took a very staunch action and destroy all this, you can say, the terrorist organization that is surrounded, like Hamas. It can be the you can say other organization. So because of that, the proxies of Iran is now very weak around the Israel, and now Israel is bombing inside the Iran. So now Iran is having very few options. Even their air defense system is gone, and their proxy who are acting their interest, they are also gone. So these article is talking about all these things. And before there is a agreement that is signed. This is called JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action between P5 plus German with Iran. So that the main objective of this agreement is to ensure that Iran should abandon its nuclear program, nuclear weapon program, and follow a peaceful path. That means Iran has right to use nuclear weapon. Okay? And in return for the USA will lift sanction against the Iran. Okay? Because at that time it is found that Iran is developing nuclear weapon, and its stated objective is that the moment it will have nuclear weapon, it will wipe out Israel from the global earth. So because of that, all this conflict going on. Okay? So I think you can have fair amount of idea about all these things. But after the Donald Trump coming into power, Donald Trump scrap JCPOA and impose sanction against the Iran. So when there is a sanction, then Iran is now starting developing its nuclear weapon. It is like increases enrichment of uranium to weapon grade. Recent article published by the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, it is clearly stating that the Iran is in the path of acquiring nuclear weapon, and it is clear threat to the Israel. So Donald Trump given a lot of chances to the Iran, then given appeal so for a talk. When Iran is defiant, then USA given a signal, or you can say coordination with Israel. They attack the Iran to decimate and remove all the weapon before Iran could acquire the nuclear weapon, which is going to threat for the Israel. Okay? I think you have understand the context of that. It is quite tough, but not much for our mains exam perspective. But you can understand why this war is going on between these two forces, these two countries. Okay? So dear student, those who are want free mentorship, you can scan this QR code, join our application. Here you'll get daily targets, then free MCQs, paper current affairs, okay, a lot of things. So nuclear talk with USA are now unjustified. This is what's told by Iran foreign minister. So next is Ukraine force halt advance of Russian troop in Sumy. So here it is more important this location, because in geography they are sometimes asked the location Sumy and other, they are located in which region. So whenever any conflicting region, you have to understand and remember the name of that. Okay? So over 600 evacuated, and Myanmar military see heavy combat with anti coup force. So Myanmar currently going through the crisis after the military coup. They capture the power, and there is anti coup force that is emerged. So because of that, severe fighting is going on. So on the one hand, they are getting sophisticated weapon for Japan from the China and Russia. So it is very interesting to see how this this conflict is going to pan out. But unfortunately, people are suffering. Unfortunately, on the it's the army who are power hungry. Because of that, so many innocent people are suffering. That is what our concern. So next is surf, sand and sports. So over 1300 athletes from the across India competed 6 event in the inaugural edition of Khelo India Beach, organized by May in uh, uh, Gogla Beach near Diu. Okay, so dear student, you have to map the location of the Diu Daman. Tell me in the comment box, Diu Daman is a contiguous territory or it is distributed over multiple locations. Just tell me. Same thing, you can tell me Puducherry. Pondicherry or Puducherry is a single territory or it is distributed over multiple lands. If multiple land, then what are the location and which state within that? Same thing with the Diu Daman. Just tell me in the comment box, Diu Daman is located in which state and which state and what are the location of different territory of Diu Daman. Okay? So Khelo India, it is your homework. Study about Khelo India mission. What are the objective of Khelo India? Okay? And what are the achievement of the Khelo India, what kind of steps we need to take to promote the Khelo India. Okay, dear student, this is all about the news of 5th June. So let me tell you one more thing. So I'm just starting this live telecast, live streaming of this video. So in case of any, I'm not much comfortable with this video, so it will take some time to get comfortable with this. So in case of any problem you are facing, please cooperate little bit. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe this channel and comment in the comment box. You can also give your suggestion regarding what kind of improvement that will need to bring, so that it is more helpful to you. Okay, dear student, take care, bye bye, have a good day. Again, we'll meet tomorrow.